to learn or who want to know a lot of things, what is going on, what is happening, how to get a job, and a lot of things. So CGC is that bridge or that platform which connects between the students and the industrial professionals to share ideas and to guide them. So this is what the main motto or the main goal of this CGC. And what would be the mission? So what would be the mission or the vision that we go on, like from many years, even the time I have joined CGC, well before all the organizers or the main coordinators of CGC are working towards or reaching out to schools, colleges, and whatever places where they can help the students with classes, with the interactive sessions and all. So here we are grooming, and here we are developing students to improve their skills. So this is the main vision of the CGC. And if there is anything I would like the organizers to add, if I have missed any point. So this is what CGC is.
Yes, yes, yes. Exactly. Very well said, Mr. You are absolutely correct. Please.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll continue from here. So let's understand what is cybersecurity, because I should not make this session like this is cybersecurity job and all. You have to do this certification and all. But let me keep it a bit interesting. Like I will share some knowledge. What is the key areas in cybersecurity? What are the terms you hear every day and day out, and why it is like booming field whenever you talk about some technology or something? Why this cybersecurity, AI, this only these two three terms comes into picture? So let's understand what is cybersecurity. So before, when internet was just beginning and we were hardly using any technology on online. So like there was no issue. Like even if I can say, if you want to steal something or if you want to do something, then you have to go to that particular place. Like physically, you have to go there and you have to steal something like the documents or something. But when we are when we slowly started moving into online, so everywhere everything was accessible. So it's all about internet. So when all the devices are connected to the internet, so everything was easily accessible. For example, I from here I can access any of the server which is hosted at any of the place in the world. So that is where the ease of access came. But the other hand, it was also easily for the hackers to hack into any systems and to steal all the private data or the credentials or anything. So this is the term. Like for example, what if I, in a simple words, if I want to say what is cybersecurity, then it means giving the services in order to protect your information. So in a simple manner, I can say cybersecurity is it's a security or it's a service that is used to protect the online information or your data. So this is what cybersecurity is. So few say it is as cybersecurity, few say it as information security. So there is no big much difference in the terms, but all it's the same. Like it's all about protecting the data which is available on the internet. So that is what cybersecurity is. So how we are doing it? So basically, internet is connected through networks to systems. So uh, if you take a simple example, in your mobile or your laptop, obviously you will have a antivirus. Like whenever you buy a new laptop, you will have an antivirus installed in it. So we just install it and we just leave it like, okay, something is there. But we never see that when if it is expiring or we have to change some configurations and all. That is where many people are lacking in the awareness or the knowledge about cybersecurity. So they feel like they have some antivirus and now they are safe. Like no malware, no virus can harm my system. But there are many misconfigurations in your present configuration that can be easily exploitable. So in as a cybersecurity, in this field we protect all the network systems by a lot of tools. Sorry, yeah, Murtaza, you have any questions here? I see you raised a hand. We can take questions now, or if after my session, like we will have a QA
It might be
session.
by
I'll give.
mistake. After the session, you can take the question and answers for last 15 minutes. So we'll continue the
Sure, sure.
session
I'll do that.
till
I'll do that. Yeah.
Voice is breaking, sir.
Yeah. Sorry, my voice is breaking.
Yes.
Okay. Is it okay now?
Yeah, better now.
Okay, sorry guys, I'm not sure what's problem with my bandwidth and all. So, so that's all cyber security means. So we have different controls like firewalls, AVs, and multiple solutions which protects the system. And I would request like the organizers, if there is anything in the chat, please just try to look at them and let me know if there is any problem. So I'll keep continuing the session considering the time limit. So this is all about cyber security. Next, before going into cybersecurity jobs and all, let's understand what is a cyber attack, how the cyber attack actually happens. And I will not cover everything, but I have picked up few important topics which are famous, very famous cyber attacks that happens every day and a day out. So it is just assumed in data like almost in 14 seconds or 10 seconds, a cyber attack happens somewhere around the world or some 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 other way. So cyber attack happens. So let's understand first most important cyber kind of attack, that is malware. So what is malware? So if I divide this word mal and ware, so mal is malicious. So and ware would be the short form of software. So any malicious software is known as malware. So it could be spyware, ransomware, and virus. So let's understand what is spyware. So spyware is kind of a malware which will only use which will be only used to spy your activity. For example, there are many famous services like even uh, Google will have some of the ad services, adwares, and many other famous platforms. They will have with permission, like they will install some adwares which will track your activity. For example, if you are logged in, if your browser, if you are logged in into a Gmail account, and if you just type in your Google, like just type my activity, and you search and you open that activity, then you can see Google is tracking everything, like whatever you have, the browsers or the websites you have visited, and all these things. Like until and unless you don't turn it off, Google will track everything. So this is kind of a spyware which will not harm you, but they will collect your information. This is spyware. And next is ransomware. So what is ransomware? Almost from 2017, we have been hearing a lot of terms like ransomware, some system getting locked or something. So ransomware is kind of a malware which will lock all your personal data. For example, if a ransomware is infected to my machine, I can just see a pop-up like, if you want to open your files, you have to pay some ransom in bitcoins and all. So that is also kind of malware. And even the virus which will harm your system. So all these sections, like few may say malware is different, spyware is different. So let me clear you. So malware is the main category, and all the spyware, ransomware, and virus are the subcategories in the malware. So it's not difference. So malware is a malicious software. For example, if I am a hacker, I will develop a malicious code or a malicious script which will inject. I will ask you to install in your system, and when you do it, it will do all the malicious stuff based on that code, and it will infect your system, or I can steal some credentials or some data from your system. So this is malware which is famously happening. Like many people, you will say, like for example, if your friend on WhatsApp or somewhere, he says like, hey, look, this app looks very good, and it is having a lot of features where you can earn money or something. By that statements, I feel like, oh, okay, I can earn some money with this app and I'll install it. But you never know what is the code behind it and how malicious it is. So I would request everyone to be very careful whenever you are installing or some doing something from an unauthorized sites. So that is the first one, malware. And next one is phishing. So what is phishing? Phishing is sending a malicious communication that is from email. And I'll give a good example of phishing, like how this is done. For example, next like tomorrow morning, you wake up in the early in the morning, and you see a message from your bank, like it can be any bank, Andhra, SBI, or something, and you see some, like you need some immediate attention, yeah, like your account has to be verified or something has to be done, and this link just click on this link to complete this. So it will be like, if you see the sender details, or if you see the content of the um, message or the email body, even the link, it will all look same like from your bank. But when you click the link, it will redirect into some malicious link, and all your credentials or something will be compromised. So this is a very famous and tricky content, because why I'm explaining this here, because even as a security professional, it will be very difficult for me to understand whether it is a legitimate email or a phishing email. So we do a lot of analysis regularly, like understanding what is a phishing email and what is a legitimate email. So I know all these terms, like if I start talking about malware, or if I start talking about phishing emails, it would take me some hours. But I just want to share some knowledge so that it will really help to all you and your family members to not to lose some money, or not to get hacked into something. So I thought, like, many are not aware. So I with this session, I will help all you people to understand what is malware and phishing, and how careful you have to be when you are on online. Like, for example, when there was very a gadget, a small phone, like where when we don't have a smartphone, then things were very easy. If you see the uh, hacking or the online scams that are increasing day by day. But when we used to use very small phones, then nothing was happening, because we were not connected to internet and our data was safe. But once we are in online, like if you see every village or every community, every people, even from child to old person, everybody is using a phone. But they don't have lack of awareness or skills. If they say some pop up, then they may click yes or something. So it is very difficult these days. So I would request everyone to learn or to know more about, like, what is phishing, what is malware, and to help yourself and your family members. And next important attack is social engineering. So what is social engineering? So this is kind of a psychological manipulating. So for example, um, if I want to do a social engineering on some person, I can do a call. Like, for example, I'll say that I'm calling. Like, you may have, like, you may, if you're reading some newspaper or some articles, you will see like a lot of people have got some calls from the banks, and they lost some money and all. So what they will do is they will manipulate your mindset. Like, they will make you feel like, okay, this is safe. But they will clearly uh, capture your credentials or your steal your data. So this is very interesting social engineering trick that is not simple to explain, because every way it is different. For example, if I want to hack a company, what I will do is I may I will not directly log into system and I will start hacking. So hacking is very different term. Like, what we assume, what we see from movies is like somebody sitting from the laptop and he's typing something, or uh, giving some commands, and the company is hacked. No, it does not way that work. So how the social engineering trick is will help is, for example, let's assume there is a X company, and X company has a vendor, like for for buying some bringing the food or something. They hired a vendor Y. So every day, two people from Y company, they will start coming into the office premises, and they will start distributing the food and all. But what social engineering hackers will do is they will plan something, like they'll stop on that day. They'll stop the transportation, or they'll trick something, and they will wear the white vendor dresses or something, and they will enter into the premises. So they will forge everything. They will prepare some duplicate ID cards. They will dress something, and they'll enter into the premises, and they will install some backdoor, or they'll try to get some more access or some details. So there are a lot of things in social engineering, but it's a very good information to share. And not only this, I'm telling you, these are the just main important types of cyber attacks, but there are many more. So just it's all about curiosity and the way you learn. And you just, if you just type on internet, there you'll have a lot of information. So I think this is good. Like, let's go further. Yeah. Next, yeah. So the most important topic is like, let's come to the cybersecurity jobs. Like, when I say a cybersecurity job, even if I say I'm working in a cybersecurity field, so a lot of people will assume like, okay, cybersecurity job is only one kind of job, like where you have to protect your. Uh, sorry.
Hey guys, please
I'm
mute
hearing.
yourself actually. Hey guys, whoever is not speaking, you can mute yourself.
Yeah. Thank you. It was. I was hearing a lot of noise. So yes, so what I'm telling is, whenever I say about cybersecurity field, like a lot of people in the in outside the world, like outside the field, they feel like cybersecurity is only one kind of job where we have to protect the online information. So no, it doesn't work this way. So we have lot of types in the cybersecurity jobs. So that I want to be clear before explaining you how this cybersecurity job or how to get into it. So if you see like the conditions, like the types here, the network security engineer, the cloud security, the application security, normal security architect. So there are a lot of jobs that are available in the domain or in the industry where you have to get expertise in any of the field. For example, if I'm very good at cloud, then I can be a very good cloud engineer, security engineer. If I'm very good at applications, like if I understand how the application works, then I can be a good application security engineer. So in this way, there are many types of cybersecurity jobs. So that first we have to understand like what is your key strength. For example, I'm not considering fresher in this area. For example, if you are already working on some domain or some other domain and you want to switch into cybersecurity, first you understand what is your key strength. For example, we may have lot of network engineers who are very good at network, but they want to get into cybersecurity field. Then if you start learning about cloud or something, then you may end up in lot of time, like you will waste lot of time in learning about cloud and application. When you already have a network security engineer position, you just try for it. So in this way, you will not waste your time in choosing the right path. So this is why I thought before going into cybersecurity jobs and all, you should understand how many types of cybersecurity jobs are there. So if you want to move into cybersecurity, then understand these kind of types. So apart from the cloud application and network, there are many other things like say pen tester, penetration tester, malware analyst, incident response analyst, cryptographer. So like there are many. And I'm not going into deep in each and everything, but if you have any doubts, I can take at the end and I can explain you if you have any queries in these types and all. So moving on. Yes. So, job opportunities and challenges. So, this is what the main part is. So, what are the key opportunities or what are the main challenges? So, rightly said, I was just referring the group. So, there are almost 3.5 millions jobs that are coming up by next year. That is as per the New York Times report. Even if you see any portal or any job sites, you will see lot of cybersecurity domain openings right now. Even today, if you open any of the job site and if you search, you will see lot of openings. So why is this cybersecurity opportunities grooming, or you will have lot of opportunities in by 2021 or by today? So let me explain you what like if you take any company, even from small sector to large scale, they were only concentrating on the business. For example, if I talk about a small data center which have started some 10 years back, they were putting all their money into the sales or some bringing up the servers and all, but they never considered about security. And until 2016, there was no big importance of security. Like we do have cybersecurity used to have some domains, but until 2016, they were not much concerned about security. They feel like we are getting some money and we are earning, or we are in good position, but they felt like why we need cybersecurity and all. So after 2016, the attackers or the hacking was very easy because everything was on online. If you see, cloud came up and everything, like whatever we are hosting something on a server, physical server, it is now in cloud. So everything is now online. That's why if you see any articles or any newspaper, you see every day there is some hack or something is going on. No big company, even if if you remember Google, Facebook, everything got hacked at some other point. So that is what the importance of cybersecurity, and that is where every company, they started adding one more domain. So apart from Windows network, now there is a new domain called security. So when they are adding a new domain, they can't simply put out a unskilled or a fresher guy directly into cyber security. So that is where the challenge comes up. So this is what if you are curious or if you are really interested in cybersecurity, then you should start now. You should start learning about it, and you should try to get into this job. So this is the job opportunity that you have, because you see the number of vacancies or the number of openings that we have. Because of that, the cybersecurity is very booming area. So I would encourage everyone, you start learning about it or start knowing about it. And now I'll come to the challenge part, because this is very important to cover. Because if I start giving some hype like, okay, it's very booming, you will earn a lot of money, just start cybersecurity, no, it will not work that way. Because um, you can see some question here like, what advice I would give to someone who is interested in pursuing this cybersecurity career. So my answer would be, um, once you dive in, please never look back. For example, if you start after my session, if somebody is starting today, and after one day if you feel like, oh god, this is very complex, I can't understand everything, and if I come back, then you will never get, or you will never be a good cybersecurity specialist. So if you want to uh, uh, come into cybersecurity, you have to have that hunger, you have to be very eager to learn new things every day. Because this is not a technology or some programming that you learn from for some 6 months in a course or something, and you just relax and you start doing your work. No, that will not work in that way. Because cybersecurity is, for example, I can say a simple example. Like today a attack will happen based on network. You will uh, do some analysis or you will mitigate it. But for tomorrow, if a new attack comes, is then it will be a fresh. So you can't apply the yesterday's knowledge today's. For example, yesterday the hack was on network, today it was on operating system. So it will be completely new to you. It will be very challenging every day. So even I can share with my experience, like every day it is a new to me. There will not be a separate project that you have to complete in one month or something. Because every day you never know when the attack will happen, at what time. For example, today midnight or some way. So this is the first part that I thought of sharing, because that is a one big challenge that you have to face. Because if you're really keen, or if you want to learn the cybersecurity, then it will be very good if you pick up. Because I can say I'm really enjoying it, because I learn every day something new. I really take some attack or something as a challenge, and I mitigate it. So it feels lot of uh, uh, courage, and it feels lot of proud when you do something. For example, I can relate the cybersecurity field into a good policeman job. Because the work they both do is same. The policeman will stop thieves to get theft, like they will stop the thieves, or they will do something in order to stop them. And even the same cybersecurity will do the same thing, like the cybersecurity specialist will stop the hackers to hack into some system, or to steal some credential or some valid data. Because it takes lot of time and lot of investment. For example, let's take a individual guy who is learning, or who is working hard for some years, and he saved some bank balance. And within just minutes, if a hacker is just uh, pulling all the money and hacking it, it is very difficult for an individual to come back or regain that money. So that is what the importance of cybersecurity. Even if you see many companies, they just come down if there is one hack into that system. For example, let's consider a X bank, and you hear a big news coming up like, this X bank is been hacked. Will you ever put that money? Will you ever put your money into that bank again? No, because that bank got hacked, and there is no proper security control in it. So this is what the major job opportunity or the challenges that we have in cybersecurity field. So all I can say is, if you are very keen, or if you want to learn everything, new technologies every day, then you can start, just kick out, and you can start learning about cybersecurity. So this is the job opportunities and challenges we have here. And I will after some time, I will also explain like, if you are a fresher, how to start, and if you are a experienced, and how to start. So I'll just differentiate, and I'll explain that as well. So let's continue for here. Yeah. So I'll come, like lot of people, whenever I chat with lot of freshers or some experienced people, they will ask me what course I have to pick up, what training I have to do. So considering a fresher or the entry level position, I can recommend the following trainings. Like for example, in cybersecurity, we have very famous vendors. For example, if you take CompTIA certification, EC Council, Cisco certification, and IC Square. So these are the some famous vendors. Even we have Sans also, but that is bit costly. But I have pulled out some good vendors which are in the industry who provides you some good courses with along with certificates. So if you are a fresher and if you want to if you ask me like what would be the good certificate that I have to complete in order to get a cybersecurity job, then I would definitely recommend you either go with CompTIA Security Plus or EC Council CEH. So these two certificates are like well known or well accepted by many industries. So if you are entry level, if you want to start, then you can just do a basic course, that is CompTIA Security Plus or EC Council CH, that is Certified Ethical Hacker. So these are the two certifications that many organization will ask for. For example, whenever you go for an interview, then if he is asking what all certification you have done, then at least they will expect these two certificates like CH or Securities Plus. So after this, like even we can do some CCNA, CISSP, but you can do it afterwards also. But these two are some important one. So these are the paid ones. Like for example, Security Plus will cost you around some 15,000 to 20,000. Even CH is some 40,000. But if you ask me, no, like right now, if I want to start the cybersecurity training, but I don't want to pay something, then I have you. If you see, you can learn lot of things from Udemy, YouTube, edX, and Cybrary. So you may ask me, Shoaib, why did you include Udemy? It's a paid one, right? So my answer would be, when you want to be a security aspirant, then you have to have a research kind of mindset every day. So why I have put Udemy in free courses, because so every Udemy course, for example, if I'm an author, if I'm publishing a new course, what Udemy will do is they will keep that course for free. Like for example, for first 50 subscriptions, like for some 2 days or something. So if you're on Telegram, or if you browse following some websites, then every new course that is coming up into Udemy, that will be available for free. So I would definitely encourage you to all just see what are the platforms that we have. And even you may consider, why did you include YouTube? It will not have much good information, but this is wrong. Previously, when we are not using YouTube, there we never know how much information that YouTube have. Now lot of authors, they, if for example, if I don't want to cost something based on my, if I want to share my knowledge on free, what I do is I create a YouTube channel and I will share my knowledge there. So there are many thousands of authors or security researchers who are just sharing their knowledge for free on YouTube. So if you start just searching with ethical hacking on YouTube, you'll have number of courses. If you want to be a malware analyst, just type malware analysis in YouTube, you'll have number of courses. I can assure you, you don't require any amount of any, you don't need not to go for some institute or to pay some money. If you really want to get into this domain, then just go for Udemy or YouTube. You will learn lot of things. I can honestly say, I have not spent more than 10,000 on my learning. Right from my career, I haven't spent more than 5,000 or 10,000 on my learning, because everything I have learned is for free by following YouTube. Or even edX is, like for example, on edX will give you a lot of courses for free. If you want to do certification, then they will charge you, but the courses are free. So these famous sites, you can simply visit and you can learn. So I hope the courses or training part is clear now. Because if you want to start, then I would recommend it, go with either CH or Security Plus. And for learning, you can just explore the internet. It is all available, everything is free for you. So let's continue. So before covering the skills of cybersecurity, I promised you, like I will explain, if you are a fresher, how to start here, or if you are a already experienced guy how to start here. So let's consider the first one. So if you are a fresher, considering you are doing some graduation or some degree course and you want to start in cybersecurity, I would say in your mindset you should be uh, well before you should be made your mindset like I'm very interesting about hacking. I'm very much passionate about cybersecurity. Then you will have that mindset to build up your skills. So if you are coming out of college or if you are already studying, then start learning more about cybersecurity, all the courses out there. You do almost complete all the trainings and all. Then I would encourage you to do the certificate that I have previously said. Either go with CH or go with Security Plus. Then you will have some good industry backup, and then you can build up your good resume and you can start applying for jobs. This is one good method. And one challenge here is, as I told, like a lot of companies will not accept a cybersecurity uh, like as a fresher. Like you may not easily get a job. So for that we have one solution. You don't go for a big organization, but you can always start with a startup. For example, there are a lot of startups that are startups that is opening uh, all around India, Mumbai, Hyderabad, anywhere. So they will have lot of openings. So they will easily consider a fresher if you have done some certification, and from there you can get some good experience, and then you can switch into some big organization. So this is a good step. Because I want to be clear, because a lot of people will feel like I have done some certification, like I have done CEH, but I am not getting job. You will definitely, it is very hard because many big organization, they will not give everything into a hand of a fresher. You can see how I have shown you how important the security field is. You can never assume that a fresher will give will they will hand over everything to a fresher to protect them. So that is the main reason I am encouraging you to start with a small company or a small startup, and from there you build your career and then you switch into a big organization. So this is a good step or a good progression that you can build in cybersecurity. Now coming into a experienced candidate. So if you're already working in some domain or some field in this in the industry, that can be OS, that can be server support, that can be networking or any other field, and if you are passionate or interested about cybersecurity, then as the same, you have to start first, build up your skills. You should understand how the network works, how the flow works, how the attack will happen, how to mitigate them, how a firewall works, how to antivirus works. So these all knowledge you should have, at least some basic idea. Then you can go for some certification that I have recommended, and you can start building up your resume or your profile in that manner, and you have to start applying for the jobs. So this is a good process that you can follow in order to get a cybersecurity domain. And then the next part, yeah, I hope this is clear. But if you have some questions, I can take up. And the key
Yeah,
thing
hello,
is
one
like
question.
the skills that you need.
Hello.
Uh, yes, we can have it at the end, or else you can ask me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm having a ISO 27001 certification. So
Okay.
and pretty much knowledge about cybersecurity terms and what exactly spoofing, sniffing, and Linux, a bit overall knowledge. Can I get into cybersecurity job for with this certifications and with this a bit knowledge?
For sure, definitely. Like I can say you are saying like you have ISO standard certification, but
Yeah,
that will not really help when you try go for an interview, because as I said, like there is some protocol or something set with the interviewers. They will always seek for some other certification, like what I have mentioned, like you either from CEC Council, CEH, or
yeah, okay.
Security Plus. So I would, if you already have this knowledge, I would recommend just learn this course and crack the complete the training
Mhm.
and attempt for the certification, and then you try for
So
job, because with ISO certificate
yeah,
you'll find very difficult to get into cybersecurity. Just complete the
okay.
CH or
Sorry to
Security Plus. Yeah.
sorry to interrupt. So on that question, like, so is certification? You're saying that is certification a criteria to enter into cybersecurity domain?
If I say it's not compulsory, but if I'm working in some organization and if I want to hire someone, I will definitely based on some 4 to 5 questions, I can't come to understand like whether you have some complete skills or something. So only certificate will prove me like okay, if he has completed CH or something, okay, he has some good knowledge and he can at least try. Because without any certification, if I say like I know everything, so it will be very hard to uh, calibrate or assess your knowledge. So I would recommend you definitely go for some certification. But there are still few companies which will test your knowledge, and if they really like you, based on without any certificate, they will pick you. So it, I'm saying this because as an entry level it is a bit difficult, but after you already have your experience in cybersecurity and if you're switching into some new organization, then I can say certification will not matter. So
As I
only at
can,
the entry level, they
yeah,
need some criteria.
as I can see that there is a risk analysis also you have mentioned. So I am also pursuing CISA right now. So what is the career in the risk management, and how is the career? How because you are already in cybersecurity field, how you have seen someone auditing this? So can you say, explain what is the uh, how is the job in risk analysis, and how it's, because I am going into that field. So this reason I'm asking. So I'm doing CISA
Sure,
also, and
great.
next
I'll
month I'll be giving examination for that.
got it. So I'll just park your question. I'll come to you at the first, but let me
Okay,
complete one more slide and I'll just answer your question. What about risk analysis? Um, how to get or how it is important. So let me cover the 2 slides that I have considering the time. Then I'll answer your question. So
sure,
when
sure.
I say about skills in the cybersecurity field, so I have mentioned whatever the important. So communication skills, teamwork, integration, problem solving, programming. So all this I have mentioned, but this is not compulsory. For example, if I am a security like analyst, I am working in some domain. I have shown you previously. Like if I say cyber security, then it is not a single term that everybody do the same thing. There are a lot of things. If I talk about risk, then that will come into some other parameter. If I talk about network, then network security engineer is just some different way. But this is in a generic way. You should have some knowledge. Like for example, if you ask me, programming language is mandatory, then I say no, it's not mandatory. It's a essential skill, but it's not mandatory. The key skill in cybersecurity is you should understand all these things, like at least the basic understanding what is a security principle, how the programming code works. I'm not saying you have to be expert, but you should have at least basic idea, so that whenever you get into any of the domains, you will have some idea and you can answer or you can assess them. So I'll answer your question regarding the risk one. I have one more slide to cover, then I'll answer your question. So the main important task is the hard work. For example, the main challenge that I have told you, for example, I have learned this CH course. For example, I have spent some 2 months of time. I got the job. Okay, I can relax now. I have the job. I done the certification. Now I can survive in the industry some 10 years or 20 years. No, that will not work, because if you're not upskilling your knowledge or all the areas, or if you're not getting all the updates, then you may fail the very next day. If a new attack happens, some new attack happens from server level or port level, if you don't have knowledge of network or some ports, then you will fail. Clearly in the team, they will able to catch you like this guy has no knowledge on the network, and it will be very difficult so in this way. So you should have at least the hardworking skill that you learn every day, like every day some or the other you follow some updates or you read about some attack. So this is very important. I'm not going into depth each and every skill, but you can read it through like what are essential and why it is important. Next, as this is the last set that I this is very interesting. So I have already explained you. So if you want to become a security analyst or information security analyst, so you have to choose first your domain or career path as cyber security. Then you have to attend a boot boot camp, or you have to complete a course, and then you have to refine your skills. Like for example, if you are working only on risk, or if you are working only on server support, then you have to develop your technical skills in understanding at network level as well, and the other areas as well. So that is the next step, and after that you have to create a proper portfolio, and then you have to build a strong resume. This is also very important. If someone just before somebody was telling like I'm very good at lot of skills, I understand what is spoofing, what is attack, what is cyber and all, but when you are not building a proper technical resume, then it will be very hard uh, like to get or to easily express yourself, because in an interview you can't show all your knowledge, or you can't just explain by opening your laptop and all. So that's why building a strong technical resume is very important. Then searching the job, I told you, if you are fresher, then always look for a startup and start searching for the job, and then you just prepare for the technical interviews. So like there are a lot of, if you just google like interview questions for cybersecurity analyst, you will have lot of questions and answers, so you can prepare them. So the key thing is like if you are a cybersecurity aspirant, I told you, you should have a research kind of mechanism. It's not something like I teach you one day and you can survive for so many days or so many years. So every day you have to learn on your own, and then you can become a good security analyst. So here I'm concluding now. I hope I did not much confuse you, because it's not easy to cover this big domain in some half an hour or something. But I tried my best to give you some good awareness or some good knowledge or some good things. Now
Thank you.
I'll
Thank you.
go to Q&A section. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a very quick question, Shoaib. So,
Sorry to hold you. Let me answer the first one. Like somebody was asking regarding the risk one. I'll just answer in just 1 minute and I'll take your question. Is that okay? Because I
it's
was
fine,
holding his
fine.
question. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine, please.
Okay. So yes, somebody was asking me regarding he is a risk analyst. He's already working in
Yeah.
this domain
No,
and
no,
he want
actually
to
I'm
work.
not working. I'm working in internal audit and finance. So I'm
Okay.
trying
Okay.
to moving to because just as a stepping stone, I did ISO 27001 certification,
Okay.
and also as you told that YouTube is very very vast and it's like a ocean. So I'm also referring
Correct.
to YouTube and referring so many content. So then I got to know what essential skills are needed. So because to add on your points, I realized that the cyber security is like it's booming. It will boom in coming 5 years, and it's very in India. And no, if anyone wants to go out abroad, then on the basis of this degree, on the basis of these skills, they can go outside. But I am choosing risk analysis and risk management. So certainly, I'm doing CISA. So I just want to ask you to add on something. What should I do, and what approach I should take to get into that?
Right, right. It's a very good question. So if you have remember my slide, like the types of job that I have shown you, there is one kind of job uh, like risk manager or risk analyst. So we have a separate section or separate type of job that is purely based on the what you are asking. So if for being a risk analyst, you are doing a very good job. You do the certification, and you will only concentrate more about the audit section, because in security it's not only important that you protect something from hackers. Like in a risk point of view, there can be many internal threats, or there can be many reports that can leak lot of information about company. So as a risk officer or a risk analyst, it's your job to assess that it is, if it is based on security standards or not, if they are leaking something. So in that way you can just more concentrate about the courses that you learn, because you need not to go into malware, you need not to go into network and all. But if you are concentrating on a risk, then you will become a good risk officer or something. Because when I'll tell you when risk officer comes into picture in our domain. If for example, if something gets hacked or something is happening, then our first job is to inform the risk manager or the risk officer that, sir, this is this and this got hacked, please check or please assess from your end. So what your job would be, you will check from your end the risk end, what are the parameters got leaked, what has to be mitigated and all. So that's a bit different criteria and different type of job. I would definitely encourage you, as you are already interested, please continue doing that and try for a job. And if you are
Yeah.
getting that, it will be really interesting. Yeah.
In your practical life, have you seen anyone, any this of scenario that you are meeting a risk manager and asking for some, or did you ever meet some auditor, or because you are working in bank, I can see that. Uh, so have you ever meet some, have you ever face any scenarios of this one?
Uh, yeah, like we do attend a lot of audit sections where we prepare reports. For example, if you are supporting a client or something, then we'll have a proper documents prepared for the clients for audit. For example, what they will assess is, if for example there is a log collection, they have invested some money, and if you are not utilizing it, or if you have already exceeding it, then they will check if everything is correct, or if everything is in proper way. Because as a security guy, I may configure something and I can say like everything is protected, but as a risk officer, he will audit everything. He will ask me hundreds of questions, why it is this way, why it is not configured properly and all. So it is very interesting task, and it is very challenging for me to answer all the questions as in terms of risk. So I have faced it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Thanks. One more. I've seen one more question coming up. So please go ahead. Sorry for
I have
keep
pinged you
holding
the
you. Yeah.
questions. I have pinged you the questions if you don't mind answering them.
I can see 20. Is this the same? Like, does incident handler needs to have knowledge about
Yeah.
pen test and vice versa?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So I'll answer your question. So when I say incident management, I really don't want to complex this, but I want to put the clear facts as you have asked the incident management area. So whenever I talk about incident management, there are two persons, incident manager and incident responder. So if an incident manager is someone who accepts, for example, if somebody is reporting like, hey, this my email got hacked, then incident manager will uh, pull that incident and he will be responsible in order in the complete cycle of that incident. He will be dropping emails, he will be doing all these things. So as an incident manager, it is not important that you learn all the pen test skills and all, but we have one more person, incident responder. So he's the key guy who will who should have all this knowledge of forensics, malware analysis, pen testing, in order to understand that attack. Because incident is not something that it will happen the same way all the days. So every incident is different, right? So obviously if you are an incident responder, then it's a very good position, very skilled position, which we should have all the knowledge of pen testing, malware analysis and forensics. I hope that's clear. uh,
Yeah. I'm
Coming
like,
back to second question, how do I get onto a mid-level role? I don't have cybersecurity experience, but I have network security experience and don't start any entry level in cyber sec.
I
So
don't
as I
want to
told
start
you,
at a natural. Yeah. And
so you want you want to start an entry level in cybersec, yeah. So I think I have answered this question. So
no,
if
I
you are
don't want to start
already
at
done,
entry level. I mean, like, I have some base experience what a DDoS attack is, and what is a malware, phishing attack. So I have network security experience, but certainly that is not equivalent to security experience. So uh, anything I can do to get onto a mid level role with this experience
right,
in cybersecurity.
right. So one good suggestion I would give is, with my experience, we used to have some good network engineers who were very good in the knowledge, who had very good knowledge, same like you. So one good option is, if you in your company, if you have a cybersecurity domain, so you have to you can just showcase your skills every day, and whenever there is requirement, you can directly a mid-level job there. That is one thing. I'm not considering that you will have a cybersecurity field in your company or some domain. But if I talk about some other industry, like other company, if you want to sit directly into a mid-level, then first you should have a very good experience in network. For example, if you're only 2 to 3 years experience, then it will be very, you can't easily get into a mid-level role. But if you have spent very good time in network security, and you have done all the configuration, you have worked on all the threads, then definitely you can apply for a senior analyst role by writing down, preparing a good resume, and you can definitely get into a mid-level role rather than a entry level, considering you have the great knowledge and at least you have done some certification, or that will not matter, but that will be a good parameter showing that you have good experience and you can get a entry level, because you can go into a senior analyst level if you want to get a mid-level role,
Thank you.
right?
That answered that last question, and I'm done. Thank you for taking my question.
Okay, yeah,
Thank
yeah, no problem. Thanks, thank you. And any more
Yeah,
And
questions?
I have one question for you, Shoaib.
Yes.
Yeah, Shoaib Nawaz here. Right?
Hi,
When
hi,
like
Nawaz.
if you consider 5 years back or 10 years back, security it's a specialized domain where some dedicated resources were there. But nowadays, when you see even an employee who is at very low level, he might receive an email that hits the ransomware and attack is being done on the entire enterprise, right? So now,
Correct.
like we have some personal information and like we are exposing to some IoT devices and recent some hackings has been done with the using some Alexa, that kind of stuff. So when we are associated
Right.
with so many electronic devices at around ourselves, so what is the better way to make have some knowledge on these daily incidents, like though I don't want to make a, I mean, be a cybersecurity expert, but at least to safeguard ourselves, to just have a look on this kind of stuff. What is the best resource which you can suggest for everyone?
Correct. So when you're talking about all these details like the Alexa hack or the privacy theft and all this happening, so that means you are very interested into cybersecurity field. So any aspirant or anyone who is really keen, then I would recommend, like there are a lot of portals. Like if you just go with the Hacker News or GB Hackers, these are some good sites that I refer every day. So you can just note it down. It is GB Hackers and Hacker News. So these are like these are like, sorry, portals where you will see the everyday they will update. For example, whenever anywhere around the world if something hack happens, then they will update a complete article showcasing like how this IoT got infected or how this got compromised. So these sites, like there are many other sites as well. So you have to follow these blogs. And apart from this, if you're not on Twitter, then I would recommend you to be on Twitter. So in Twitter, like a lot of security researchers, they'll post everything. Like if there is new device or something coming up, they will write a good article where you can get good reference. Even I was mentioning about Telegram. I see a lot of people are not on Telegram or just use it as a chat. Telegram has one good feature of searching a chat group. For example, if you want to search for Udemy courses, just search, go to Telegram and search for Udemy courses. You'll have lot of groups open and you can join them, and you'll have all the courses for free. So in this way, if you want to follow cybersecurity or these details in Telegram, we have cybersecurity groups that are open that shares some hundreds of links every day. So even I can honestly, I'm saying I'm not following all this all these many posts because of considering the time and all, but I can say if you're really keen or if you want to understand all this, so Hacker News, GB Hackers, Telegram, Twitter will be your good resources to understand them. Thanks, Nawaz.
Got it.
That was a good question. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. So other participant, do you have any
How
question?
to join that?
yes.
How to join the Telegram actually? That Telegram group.
So same like WhatsApp, you can just install Telegram into a Telegram app in your mobile. And for example, I'm part of a famous group, Information Security. So on Telegram, you'll have a search option. So on the search, go to chats and search for information security. You will find number of groups. Just click on it and join it, and you'll have lot of information. If I'm not wrong, you
Yeah.
can just try it now on online, and you can say if you're seeing that. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
really cool. Yeah.
That
Yeah,
would be
Shiv,
great. Yeah.
my third question was like, yeah, as more and more organizations are migrating to cloud, and there are security offerings by cloud vendor itself. So how will learning cybersecurity will help us in going forward?
So when I was when I started, even I did not learn much about cloud and all. But But if you see now, every company, they are hosting some way, something or the other on the cloud. So like if you can take Azure, you can take AWS, or you can take GCP. So when you have all this knowledge, like the basic knowledge of how hack happens, how the network works, how the like the operating system works, even if you switch into cloud security and all, the fundamentals remains the same even on the cloud. If you see a attack is happening, then the basic understanding would be the same. The protocols, how the attack happens. For example, a firewall policy is changed on cloud, but I am just including a cloud term, but the firewall policy changed by a hacker is same. You mean to say, I'm sorry, you are understanding my point. We are just doing hack on cloud, but the other terminology or the other ways is the same. Like if some configuration is changed on firewall by a hacker, even though it is on cloud or not on cloud, the hack is same. But it is on cloud, the configuration or terminology is different, but the understanding of hacking or the configuration will really help you. So in this way, when you are doing the cloud course, starting in order to understand how the cloud works, that may be difficult, but the cloud security point of view, you will understand easily. Like the
So
basic
you mean to
concepts
say
will
that
really help you.
regardless whether a company is on-prem or on cloud, okay, the services on-prem or cloud, okay, the threat remains the same. The threat landscape remains the same.
Yes, correct. Correct. Threat landscape remains the same. If you're hosting a AWS open, and if you're having all the ports open, and you're hosting some critical resources, or you are hosting some website, then I can simply hack into it. So it is just on cloud. That doesn't mean like it will be different. So if I know how to hack a cloud website and all, I can do the same. So it remains the same. The terminology is different. The terms, the instance. If I say on prem, then it will be, I'll just say it is a website. There I'll say a website hosted on an instance. So that will different, but the knowledge will really help. The knowledge will never go. So that will help. Yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right, brother Shoaib. I have a question. May I proceed?
Yes, please.
Thank you so much for your time. It's already 4 o'clock. Is it okay to ask my question?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's okay.
All right.
I'm
Thank
available
you.
now.
Appreciate your
Yeah.
time. And what CGC is doing is like a non-profit organization helping, giving the idea about the cybersecurity. Okay, first of all, I have no idea how these things work because I'm fresh off the board, and I'm from the life sciences, and I was very much interested into um, moving into IT. So
Okay.
as a fresher, and I have little bit knowledge about computers, but not much as like an IT guy or somebody else. So like an average being. So where do I have to start? Like some of them are suggesting me to go with the programming, some of them are suggesting me to go with the networks. So where do I start first? Second of all, would you guys, I mean, as an institute, would you be able to help me out if I put my trust in you? So where do you think you're going to uplift me to?
Right. That's a good question. So, considering all the parameters, I can relate with a normal fresher guy who have just graduated, or who don't have any knowledge in cybersecurity. Then I would definitely encourage you, don't go with programming and all. You just learn about ethical hacking first. So, why I'm saying ethical hacking is, so this particular terminology or this particular course will cover you a lot of details when you are a fresher, or when you don't have any knowledge of anything. So you
Mhm.
start with ethical hacking. So whenever
Okay.
you can search on YouTube or something, if you search about ethical hacking, then there are a lot of authors who explain you from scratch, and explaining you how a network works, how a flow works. So regarding programming, I told before as well. So a lot of people will give mislead, like you need a programming skills into get into cybersecurity, but that's not the criteria. When you are doing ethical hacking codes, you'll understand at least how a basic code works, how a malware, like something works. So that will really help you. And once you are into a path, like when you get into IT, or when you got a job, then you can upskill yourself. You can learn programming, you can learn networking, you can do some certifications. But in order to get, or in order to have some knowledge, then go with ethical hacking course. That will really help. Yeah.
Okay. And my second question is like, would you guys be able to help with some courses, or it's just
So honestly, like this is very many questions that people ask me. So I have good experience of like spending my time after my office hours, who helping, like I have even gave training to some US master graduates as well. But I can say any training course or anything that is available for paid or something, that will not give, but that will not help you much. But if you don't have time and if you need some assistance, then you can go, like there are many vendors or many institutes outside who help you. But that it will, for example, if I scale like cyber security from 1 to 100, you will only get 20% knowledge on institute or any other vendor. So if you want to learn some 80% or 60%, you have to